You'll want to put headphones on for this one, because Alien isn't just a film you watch, it's a film you hear. And tonight, we're delving into how sound design turned Ridley Scott's 1979 classic into one of the most terrifying experiences in cinema. From the mechanical groans of the Nostromo, to the wet, organic hiss of the creature, to the cold, detached voice of Mother, this is how Alien used sound to crawl under your skin. But first, did you know that the title sound designer didn't exist on most film credits until the late 1970s? Ben Burtt on Star Wars and Walter Murch on Apocalypse Now were among the very first to carry that designation. Before then, sound was often seen as purely technical labor, and Alien landed right at that shift when sound began to be recognized as its own narrative tool. Let's get into it. Ridley Scott famously described the crew of the Nostromo as truckers in space. That working-class framing resonates in every weld mark, every oil stain within the ship. The sound team embraced that ethos, layering hydraulic hisses, machinery rumbles, metal groans, and air vent sighs. The Nostromo doesn't sound sleek, it sounds heavy, used, and indifferent. You might imagine it as a kind of industrial truck stop floating through the stars, cages of steel and drag. Ben Burtt, already famous for shaping the soundscape of Star Wars, was experimenting with ideas around this time that helped push the envelope of what sound design could be. While he wasn't the lead sound designer on Alien, his approach to layering and manipulating sound effects influenced the entire field, and some of his experimental concepts even brushed up against Ridley Scott's film. Most horror films of the 1970s filled every quiet moment with music. Scott did the inverse. He excised large portions of Jerry Goldsmith's score, allowing silence to breathe. Terry Rawlings, the editor, said many of the film's moments rely not on sonic excess, but on what's removed. In those gaps, every hiss, every footstep, every mechanical tremor becomes amplified. When sound does intrude, with a scream, a burst of static, it doesn't merely scare you. It hits you. You feel it viscerally.
Wait a minute, this movement seems to have life. Organic life.
What makes the film's soundscape so terrifying is the collision of two sonic worlds. The Nostromo is mechanical, structured, and metallic. The Alien is organic, chaotic, and viscous. When wet hisses, squeals, and gurgles invade the ship's hum, it feels like contamination. As scholar James Bueller argues about horror, fear often lives in the space where categories collapse. Here, it's technology and biology. You hear the contamination before you see it. Over the course of its runtime, Alien is constantly playing with spatial sound. How far away something seems, how it echoes, how boundaries break. The silence of a corridor is one thing, but the same corridor with a distant hiss or a faint echo of shifting metal turns the space uncanny.
Open the hatch to the third junction.
In sound design theory, this is called diegetic space manipulation, using reverb, delay, filter, and panning to shift how real a sound feels in its environment. When the crew ventures into derelict corridors or air shafts, the sound team often raises reverb or introduces distant reflections, so audio feels dislocated. A squeak trembles like it's caught in a cavern, footsteps echo in vents, subtle ambient echoes distort your sense of scale. And that dislocation primes your ear to expect dissonance. They also use cross-pollination of source materials here. Designers layer sounds of machines, slowed down water drips, electronics, reverse audio, animal cries, merging them until they become hybrid textures that feel both familiar and alien. The trick? You think, oh, this feels alien, but part of it is drawn from something you recognize, just twisted. And always in the mix is this foreground-background tension. A hiss might occupy your attention in the front, while a faint hum lurks behind you. The layering of audible and semi-audible elements keeps your instincts on edge. You hear one thing, but sense another just behind it.
The option to override automatic detonation expires in T-3 minutes.
Composer Jerry Goldsmith delivered a sweeping romantic score originally, but Scott dismantled most of it, even substituting older tracks from Goldsmith's score from the 1962 film Freud in some places. Goldsmith was understandably upset. But the restraint is precisely what makes Alien's audio landscape so potent. With so many silent stretches, when the score does break through, like it does during Dallas's death in the shafts, it doesn't guide you. It assaults you. It sounds alien itself, jagged and chaotic. Take a listen.
Open the hatch to the third junction.
Okay, I'm through. Ripley.
Then, there's Mother. Nostromo's AI is voiced by Helen Horton. Her tone is calm, steady, measured. Catastrophic failure is delivered with the same serenity as routine diagnostic feedback.
Danger. The emergency destruct system is now activated. The ship will detonate in T-10 minutes.
Lorelei King took on the role, and the sound team intentionally filtered her delivery to echo Horton's style. The voice remains human in timbre, but flattened. One imagines subtle EQ, reverb, and filtering applied. Not enough to dehumanize, but enough to remove warmth. And the result is chilling. While the crew panics, the computer remains composed, almost gentle. That dispassionate mother voice becomes one of the film's most psychologically unsettling presences.
29, 28, 27. 26, 25, 24.
Well, when you put all these elements together, the industrial hums, the invasive squelches, stalking silence, and the spectral score, a motherly voice that soothes even while it damns the crew, and you start to see how Alien doesn't just show you horror, it breathes it into your ear. With headphones on, you realize Alien isn't merely watched, it's heard. Its sound design is the film's hidden pulse, a language of dread written in absence, noise, layering, and contrast. That's why audiences who experienced it in 1979 didn't just leave shaken by the visuals, but by what had insinuated itself into their ears. If you liked this deep dive into Alien sound design, you'll want to stick around. I'm building a series on how design shapes the Alien universe on our new channel, Alien Versus. We've got just a couple more Alien-themed episodes for this channel, but we'll be continuing our journey through the Alien universe from a designer's perspective over there on that channel for as long as you guys continue to tolerate me nerding out to Alien stuff. Okay, thanks for watching and subscribing. Maybe check out this one in the meantime. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Okay.
This is Ripley, last survivor of the Nostromo. Signing off.